I'm Rendan, and this is Army of the Dead.
Mr. Ward, how would you like to make $50 million?
Army of the Dead, the new Zack Snyder movie set to release on Netflix. I just saw it. I went to an actual theater, and other than three belligerent drunk guys wandering in 20 minutes into the movie, I had a pretty enjoyable experience with it. Zack Snyder is a filmmaker who I find very hit and miss. I think some of his early work is quite good. I really like 300, Dawn of the Dead, and even The Watchmen. I really like some of his older movies. The problem is some of his recent stuff is just not up to snuff.
What are you smiling about, Captain?
Nothing, sir. I just think he's kind of hot.
Just like most of Zack Snyder movies, it's gratuitous, it's indulgent. I mean, the movie's 2.5 hours, which is my biggest issue with it, which we can talk about later. But overall, it is enjoyable. He seems to be getting better at characterization, or at least making the audience care about the characters. And this one does a good job of setting up at least the important characters, their minimal traits, and kind of putting them in their spots to succeed in a way. It's like Ocean's 11. You get a crew of people to do a specific job with a specific trait, and that's the movie. It's very simple. Again, the problem is it's way too long. Let's stay on track with the positives. And the biggest one is Dave Bautista, who is absolutely wonderful in this movie, and I wish he was in more things. He is great. Everything he is in, he is great. Blade Runner, Guardians of the Galaxy, this. He's great in this as just the father figure to his daughter, who he has a rocky relationship with. And that's the most characterization that we get throughout the movie, is their relationship, and not arcs, but the way that they come back together is nice. They have a nice moment at the end that's kind of reminiscent of Shaun of the Dead.
I'm sorry, Mom.
The story is simple and sweet, other than some convoluted twists. It's a pretty streamlined movie for Zack Snyder. He loves his lofty dialogue, he loves his lofty subplots, and pretty much all those are gone in this, which was nice to see. It is just a straight-up action movie, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. They aren't afraid to throw blood around. Even if a good amount of it's CG, it still is fun. I mean, when it's practical, it's the best, but I did appreciate that this wasn't afraid to be an R-rated movie. In ways, it feels like a throwback to action movies from like the 80s and 90s, because it is so streamlined and simple and gory. And then in other ways, it's a Zack Snyder movie from the 2000s, or the 2010s, because it is indulgent, and it is stupid, and it is ridiculous at points. I mean, the main draw of the movie is the zombies. I mean, when someone goes to see a zombie movie, they're going to see a zombie movie. They're not going to see a heist movie that also has zombies. They're going to see the zombie movie. And fortunately, both of those elements are done pretty well. The heist, it has the typical twists and turns. Oh wait, this isn't going as planned, we have to do this now. Oh, this isn't going as planned, we have to change it to this. But the zombie stuff works pretty well, even if it's just, oh, some of them are fast and some of them are smart, but when it comes down to it and they're shooting at them, they're really not that much faster or smarter than normal zombies. People can just spray gunfire and mow them down, but that's what people came for. And near the end of the movie, the last like 30 minutes, in typical Zack Snyder fashion, is almost all-out action. Fortunately, you like the characters enough to where you want to see at least a handful of them succeed, so there is stakes in the action, unlike a Batman versus Superman or something of that nature. So there's a lot of things that work about this. There's a lot of positives, there's a lot of things I liked, but again, it is a gratuitous movie. I don't think it needed to be this long. If you wanted to have a story about a father and a daughter's rocky relationship, I think that should have taken center stage. But in a lot of instances, other characters are given way more screen time than they are, or their relationship is. I think the relationship scenes are like 4 to 5, and then you have 4 to 5 scenes of the safe hacker dude being quirky and weird. So I wish that that was more in the forefront. If that was developed more, if that was fleshed out more, if that was put as the cornerstone of the movie, I think it would have worked a lot better. And the ending would have been more emotional, because that's what it is in Shaun of the Dead. That type of thing is very emotional and it works pretty well.
Find the safe. This should be a simple in and out.
It's not too late to go back.
I wasn't going to talk about it, but I wanted to address the fact that Zack Snyder made a pretty decent heist movie. So if you want to watch a 2.5-hour heist movie with zombies in it, then this is worth watching. I wish that some characters were kind of pushed to the sidelines and let Dave Bautista and Ella Purnell come to the forefront with their relationship, because I think they're the two best parts of this movie. But if you just want action, it does deliver, although it takes some time to get there. Depends on what you want, I guess. If you want a heist movie, this is an okay heist movie. If you want a zombie movie, it's an okay zombie movie. If you want an action movie, it's an okay action movie. You can get all of these things in other places that do it better. So I'll probably give it a 6. Solid 6.